I was suddenly motivated to do something productive, to do something that matters, to do something that my future self would appreciate me for. I started contemplating what to do, what to spend my time on, and I was immediately crushed by more options than I could handle. Maybe find and read a book, maybe practice drawing, maybe do a little bit more exercise, maybe socialize with some random people. Did I really have time for any of those? Didn't I have more urgent matters to attend to, like that one assignment due in 3 days? Frustrated with the sheer number of choices, I opened YouTube. Some videos were brain rot, some claimed to change my life in 5 minutes, some random guy was reacting to the newest viral song, some random guy was talking about the struggle of choosing what to do. The choices overwhelmed me again, and so I picked perhaps the worst option available. I clicked on YouTube Shorts. Recently, I heard of an interesting study that explains this behavior. A group of researchers set up a jam tasting booth in a grocery store. Sometimes they displayed 24 flavors of jam, and other times they displayed only 6 flavors. At first, you might think that showing 24 flavors would lead to more purchases. After all, there is a higher chance of matching someone's taste. But that's not what happened. When faced with 24 options, only 3% of the people bought the jam, and when faced with 6 options, the number shot up to 30%. It turns out that while having more choices might increase the likelihood of finding exactly what you want, it also makes the decision making process harder. And when it becomes too hard to choose something, we often choose nothing at all. Every decision we make costs mental energy. Choosing between options isn't something our brain does for free. It takes effort. Think about it. When faced with 24 types of jam, your brain has to reject 23 alternatives to pick the best one. But if there are only 6 options, you need to reject only 5 alternatives. That's a massive difference in mental effort. Making too many decisions strains our mental energy and fatigues us. It, a phenomenon known as decision fatigue. Our brains are wired to conserve energy, and the more choices we have, the harder it becomes to decide. So, when faced with 24 different jams, many people subconsciously pick the easiest option, which is to do nothing at all. But let's say you do push through the fatigue and finally make a choice, carefully evaluating dozens of options. You would think all that effort would leave you more satisfied with whatever you end up choosing, right? Well, probably not. The problem with choosing from a large set of options is that most of the time, no option is objectively better than the others, unless you're choosing multiple choice question answers in your exam. Each choice comes with unique pros and cons, meaning that no matter what you pick, you will always miss out on something. But why don't we just appreciate the benefits we do get? One reason is that humans are highly adaptable. You might feel excited about a new gadget or a big decision at first, but anything you experience in some regularity, you will adapt to and eventually take for granted. And when you do take things for granted, you'll look back at the array of decisions that you did not choose and regret over the benefits you missed. Pretty much everyone struggles with choices, but some people struggle more than others. Psychologist Barry Schwartz divided people into two groups based on how they make decisions: maximizers and satisficers. Maximizers are people who, when faced with multiple options, always try to find the absolute best. On the surface, this might seem like a smartest approach, but it comes with serious downsides. For maximizers who try to find the absolute best, there is always the possibility of a better option, so they relentlessly scroll through all the options out there. But the problem is that with so many options to choose from in the modern world, it is simply not possible to go through all of them. So maximizers only ever stop searching when making so many decisions drain their mental energy and they simply can't go any longer. Decision fatigue. Maximizers also never truly find the best option out there because every options have trade-offs. Once they adapt to their choice, they start noticing what they missed out on, leading to regret. Satisficers, on the other hand, don't obsess over finding out the absolute best. Instead, they set a standard for what they need and stop searching once they find something that meets those criteria. For example, if a satisfier is looking for a jacket, they might decide that they need one that just looks good on them and feels comfortable. Once they find a jacket that meets those expectations, they buy it, without worrying whether a slightly better one exists. Through this method, satisfiers don't have to exhaust themselves to find the best options until they're completely drained. They also don't have to dread over making the perfect choice and thus are prone to feeling like they missed out on something better. At this point, we have already understood what too many choices can do to us. Now, there are some ways to prevent or mitigate these problems with choice. Number 1. Be a satisficer. We have already described how satisficers tend to be more content with their choice than maximizers. You might be thinking that maximizing big decisions, like whom to marry, is sometimes a better choice. But I don't think so. I think satisficing is just as much better than maximizing in big decisions as it is for small ones. The idea of trying to find the best partner sounds really nice, but this will result in the same decision fatigue because there are so many options, and regret because of all the trade-offs later on. Satisficing isn't about having low standards. In fact, you can have really high standards as a satisficer. Satisficers just don't chase the stupid, ridiculous goal of finding the absolute best option, which doesn't even exist. Number 2. Choose when to choose. Some decisions in life don't need to be made every single time. You can make them once and free yourself from ever having to choose again. This is called a second order decision. For example, instead of deciding what to eat for breakfast every day, you can just create a routine that defines what you will eat for breakfast on each day of the week. Instead of debating what workout to do, you can create a fixed workout routine. By eliminating trivial daily choices, you can save mental energy for more important decisions. This entire video had been heavily inspired by Barry Schwartz's book on the paradox of choice. If you wish to learn more, I encourage you to read his book. So that's it for this video. Since this is very much a new channel, the algorithm may not push this video to as many people. However, if you think it should, you can like this video and leave a comment to boost the algorithm and even subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.